A lot of our economy is built on borrowing money. It will be a big part of your life. So if you have some misconceptions about borrowing, now's a good time to clear them up. Misconception number 1. All borrowing is bad. Well, sure, nobody likes to owe money, especially when you have to pay interest, which you will. But a loan can be worthwhile if you follow a few simple guidelines. First, borrow for the right things. What are those? Well, you need to think about debt in these terms: productive and non-productive. Some things go up in value over time. A home, for example. That kind of borrowing is a good investment. It's productive debt. Other things lose their value over time. Furniture, cars, and most credit card purchases are considered non-productive debt. These are generally poor investments. When too many of them pile up, they'll hurt you. The good news is that borrowing for your education is productive debt. It's an investment that will pay you back your entire life. The second guideline: only borrow when you have to. Even though school is a good investment, maybe you can pay for it without borrowing. After all, there are lots of ways to pay for your education, like saving, for instance. Let's take a parent who agrees to pay off his student's loan debt. The debt is $12,000. If he takes 10 years to pay it off, he's looking at a final cost of about $18,000 if you add in the interest. But what if the same parent started saving just $60 a month when his student turned 8 years old? Let's say the savings earned 10% interest per year. By the time the student was ready for college, his dad would have deposited about $7,200, and the interest it earned would bring the total to about $12,000. The savings account shaves almost $11,000 off their total costs. Hard to beat that. Now the last guideline: if you need to borrow for school, borrow only what you need and not $1 more. Now, a lot of people think that the government will keep them from borrowing too much. But watch out! The government doesn't really look at how much you need or even whether you can pay it back. In fact, limits are so generous on educational loans that if you're not careful, you'll get in over your head fast. You might be tempted to think, hey, I'll worry about repaying once I'm out of school and earning lots of money. But your money might not stretch as far as you think. And there's nothing worse than being burdened with a huge loan payment for 10 or 20 years after you graduate. And what if you borrow so much you can't make the payments? Well, defaulting on a student loan means big problems. It will trash your credit rating, making it next to impossible to buy a car or a home. And the government can still make automatic deductions from your paychecks and keep all your tax returns until your loan is paid off. So don't expect the government to take care of you. Borrow only when and what you need to, and you'll protect your financial future.